I love that, and I think and you've all three said something about this, but the fact that for execution to really happen, I mean, the strategy, I guess, for lack of a better word, the strategy has to be executable, right? Like and I think Christina, you talked about like understanding the people that you have who are going to execute this, right? Such a huge component of that. Make who what's the hand that I've been dealt, and how do I really make sure they buy in and engage. But then you've all talked about um, targets too, right? Or goals. Like Jennifer, you were talking about being aligned with corporate goals. And I know I've been guilty in the past of being so focused on Medicare and making sure everyone in the organization understood Medicare is the most important thing, right? but but that doesn't work always, right? Like you lose credibility when you only talk about your line of business. So you have to find those ways to align it with corporate goals and on the goals too. And I've learned this, or definitely it's been reinforced in my work with Mick and his company, but his tools, where when we're building goals for measures too, right? Like we can't just, at least in my experience, in my opinion, and I know Mick shares this, like we can't just say, hey, we're gonna have 5 stars on every goal this year. Or that's I'm curious as to both of your perspectives on this, because when we talk about executing on this strategy, yeah, it needs to be a stretch, but it needs to be realistic, right? So if we've always gotten 2 stars in osteoporosis, we're probably not going to get 5 this year, right? Well, like, and putting 5 on there just means it's going to be red all year long, and whoever owns that measure is going to be frustrated every time we go into a meeting and have a report out. So those goals have to be executable, right? Like they have to be realistic target. They have to achieve our overall goal, but um yeah, curious as to your do you agree with that? Do you have other perspectives on
I,
measure level goals to engage the organization?
I chuckle a little bit, Rex, because it feels like every CEO that I've worked under is 5 star, right? 5 star, 5 star, 5 star. And that's all you hear. And yes, it is a definite stretch goal for overall, for independent measures, but you are dead on. As an operator, as an executor, as a strategist, as a leader, of this area, you need to understand, what is possible. And so having conversations, setting stretch goals, but also being able to flex to the dynamic nature of healthcare, because things change constantly within healthcare. Not only the rules, it's, a pandemic, right, comes into play, and all of a sudden you are not meeting the needs of the measures, and you have no idea how CMS is going to calculate them in the future. And so in healthcare, I think we need to be dynamic, and especially in the world of quality improvement and quality management, and help set realistic expectations for people.